Hello my lovelies and welcome to Sondering Tarot. This is going to be your new moon reading in Gemini. This is for the 18th of June 2023. So basically the 17th through the 19th. And I'm going to be switching up my format as far as spread, just to try something new. So pardon me while I probably fast forward through the shuffling just to get your main spread on the table. And if you want to just skip right to the reading, look for the timestamps in the description box below. All right, Spirit, what is the overall energy working for the collective during the new moon in Gemini? Spirit, what is the overall energy working against the collective during the full moon, or new moon in Gemini? Okay, and Spirit, what's the overall outcome energy of the collective during this new moon in Gemini? Okay, that works for me. I'm gonna do this. All right, Spirit, if you could, 3 cards to clarify the energy of the feel emotions. What's working for the collective during the new moon in Gemini? Spirit, do you want that in the upright or reverse? The upright. Okay. Oops. All right, Spirit, and a couple of cards to clarify what's working against the collective during this new moon in Gemini. What's working against the collective? What's working against the collective during this new moon in Gemini? Full card first, I take it. Yep, okay. Okay, I got that all right. Thank you. All right, Spirit. What's the overall outcome for the collective? You. All right, my lovelies, I do have your main spread out on the table. We're gonna go with things working for us, things that are working against us, and an overall outcome. So to embody the overall energy, we have a card from the Elemental Empath Oracle. This is from the water suit. It says, feel emotions, understand emotions, inner guidance, validate self. And then we have the Ace of Pentacles, Justice, the Hangman, the Page of Swords, and the Queen of Cups. Not surprised to see the Queen of Cups. Really not surprised to see the Queen of Cups. Okay. So, we're going to be able to connect with our inner world, our emotional world, our emotional side. Hopefully, while they're there, we have opportunities to gain ideas of literally why they're there. The opportunity to sit with our emotions, what causes them, and get an idea of where they're coming from and why we have that connection between what happens and how we feel. So, you know, if we're exuberant and something makes us happy, we start to understand why we feel that way. Or if we have something that comes up and we get triggered, we start to understand why that is. That our emotions basically serve a purpose, which is fantastic, because that means we're moving in our emotional energy enough to really connect with it, to sit with it, to realize why things drain us, why things feed us, why we really have the emotions in the first place. So let's go ahead and clarify this. Ace of Wands. Queen of Wands. Two of Wands. Death. And one more card for the Queen of Cups. This time around I am trying to get one card to clarify extra for each card that you see from the Light Seers. And they gave us two. We have the Strength in the reverse and the Ten of Pentacles in the reverse. Okay. So for the Ace of Pentacles, we have the Ace of Wands in the reverse. So opportunities that don't necessarily mean that we have to take action. We just really have to sit in the moment and assess our emotions. It's not like we're changing anything physically. We just get the opportunity and just have to take the time out. We really do. There's nothing else that's really required of that. And then we have the Queen of Wands, Justice. Yeah, our emotions can have a positive and negative effect. It's literally cause and effect. Karma. So we may need to very much pay attention to areas where we've lost our power, given our power away, or where we feel unmotivated, where we're draining our energy. Being able to assess our emotions for what they are and why they are there will help guide you away from areas where things are uncomfortable, because you've been triggered, you have trauma, or you're dealing with an energy vampire, you're dealing with toxic people. So taking a time out is definitely worth it. Hence why we have the Hangman. We're here to learn, get enlightenment, and realize what our emotions are for and why we're getting them. Two of Wands reversed. You really need to focus on that. I know the Two of Wands seems like oh, you're done waiting, the wait is over. No, they're just wanting you to really realize that perhaps you haven't focused in this area in the past, and you really need to focus on it now. There's definitely something to be gained for each of us if we spend time with our emotions. And that's all because there's things we can learn, things, new ideas, new approaches to how we feel things and how we react. Or in this case, the knowledge that we gain can literally bring certain situations to an end. We do get a bit of a rebirth by ending things that no longer serve us. So trying something new, a new way of moving in our emotional body will change how we've operated in the past. Something literally becomes dead, done, and over with. It's fantastic that we literally have change. We have change available by doing so. And then the Queen of Cups. And then we have the Ten of Pentacles and the Strength, both in reverse. I love the fact that they gave us the Queen of Cups, because this is a card that says empath, spiritually gifted, full of connections, self-worth, self-care, being emotionally engaged. And that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to engage our emotions, and that's working very well for us. And once again, they're trying to highlight areas where things are not on the up and up. So being connected to ourself, validating self, literally the Queen of Cups, in areas where things are not okay, that may have really knocked our confidence, may have been in severe detriment to us. Yeah, are very much areas to look at. I would love to say that this is all hunky-dory, that you're going to be enthusiastic with feeling your emotions, considering this is a new moon in Gemini, that it's usually new ideas, new plans, enthusiasm, new projects, a fairly open-minded, enthusiastic sign for it to be in a new moon. However, they're highlighting we need to address negative. The connections are there, which helps us. So we're able to do an emotional evaluation. We're able to connect to that side of ourselves. And realize that those emotions are there to guide us. Our emotions are trying to tell us something. Very much the focus of this particular new moon. So what's working against us? Intimacy. Intimacy. Connect. Discover and voice needs. Explore. Heal. Okay. Just from that card alone, I would say a lot of us may find self-care to be very difficult. We may want to shy away from our emotions. We may want to neglect our emotions. We may really want to go, oh, that's trauma, and sweep it under the rug, going, not now, can't deal with that now, and hide from it, to run away from it. Or we may fear vulnerability with that. And I'm sorry, when we do that, we don't always validate ourselves. We're not acting from an authentic spot. So yeah, that could be bad. So we have the Five of Cups, the Fool card, and because I'm holding these up, I hope I'm doing this without a glare, the Wheel, and to where I'm still in frame, and the Three of Pentacles. So yeah, acknowledging the negative and trying to contend with that in a positive way for the future is not probably going to be something very easy or something that we are going to want to do. Like I said, you could sweep it under the rug, you could ignore it, you could run away from it. Trying to build on that to heal is something that, yes, Five of Cups is discomforting. It's not something that you may not want to work with. Let's just put it that way. And unfortunately, because this is what they're highlighting, that's going for you, basically they're saying, okay, we're going to give you an emotional check-in, and it's time for certain things to heal. It's time to address certain emotional patterns. All right, folks, sorry for the interruption. Once again, it's thundering outside, so I apologize if my dog starts barking. So let's jump right back in. Where was I? Oh, yes. You may not want to address things to rebuild, to make adjustments, to heal. That might be scary. You may not emotionally be ready to connect to what they're highlighting and address the issue. So let's go ahead and clarify. We have the Six of Cups in the reverse. Queen of Swords in the reverse. Okay, they want two for this. The Hierophant and the Judgment, both in the reverse. Oh my gosh, okay. And the Five of Pentacles and the Hangman in the reverse. Okay, we're going to go through this one by one again. So, the Five of Cups with the Six of Cups in the reverse. Sorry, I have to turn that the right way. Yeah, you haven't moved on yet. Trauma, things unhealed, heartbreak. It's still there. It's not like it's in the past and it's like you're still reliving it. Something is still lingering in your energetic field enough that your emotions are like, hey, can we put this past you yet? Can you heal? Can you move on? Unfortunately, you're still entertaining that from the past. It's not like you visit it and move forward. It's still in your present. Sad to say. So yes, things left unhealed. A Fool card with the Queen of Swords in the reverse. And part of the reason why you probably haven't moved on yet is because, number one, you haven't been focusing on it, which they're going to highlight for you now. So hopefully you will try to address it. However, at the same time, you may not be 100% clear on what a new start looks like, how to move on, or what the issue is in general. Hence why getting connected to your emotional body is going to assist you if you can connect and don't shy away. You don't resist actually doing the work. And with the Wheel of Fortune, we have the Hierophant in the reverse and Judgment in the reverse. You are capable of going forward. I mean, they're giving you a bit more of an opportunity, even if you don't feel that way, even if you resist that. And in the past, you probably felt like there was no hope, no luck. You know, it was what it was, and now you're stuck with it forever. And carrying an emotional baggage, that doesn't help. So far, the lesson hasn't been learned. You haven't gained what you needed to in order to move on. So you might want to ask yourself, what was the lesson? So if this is like a toxic person that you had, whether if it's an intimate person or a friendship, what did you learn? What did they teach you? What did you learn about yourself? You know, if it was, you know, a bad job, well, what did you learn about that job? What did you like about it? What did you hate about it? There's a connection there that still needs to be made about what is the lesson, what have you learned in order to propel you quite literally in the right direction. And yeah, I admit you probably don't want to go into that emotional baggage to the point that you want to examine it. Like I said, this is what's not working for you, and so it's the resistance position. You may be resisting this yourself. It's not necessarily that the astrology or the energy is not there for you to do the work. This says it's there to do the work, but you personally may not be ready to face the issue head on. So the resistance is literally from you. We have the Three of Pentacles with the Five of Pentacles and the Hangman in reverse. You're still stuck in that negative mindset. Certain things have left scars on you. They've imprinted negative on you. They've knocked your self-confidence, your self-worth. They did not turn out the way that you wanted. And you haven't realized whether or not that was a good thing, number one, or you haven't learned the lesson enough in order for you to move forward, to let that strengthen you and give you a better foundation to build from. Remember, every time a bone breaks, when it heals back together, it heals back stronger. And you probably haven't realized that past experiences, even bad ones, help us to grow. And for our outcome position, we have this Cosmos suit, which is literally the collective. All is connected. Collective growth, supported. I was so amused when this card came out. You have no idea. And underneath we have the Knight of Wands the Five of Pentacles, the Page of Wands, the Seven of Wands, the Two of Pentacles reversed, the Six of Wands, the Ace of Cups, and we end on the King of Wands. Okay, there is quite a bit here for the outcome, because this means that, number one, we are allowed to move at our own pace. This Knight of Wands right here says we are allowed to move at our own pace. So, is it a good thing if we don't resist and we heal things and we move forward? Yes. Yes, it is. However, when it comes to moving past and healing our own trauma, our own emotional baggage, learning our own better boundaries and self-care, that must be done in our own time. And that's okay. So, if we don't fully complete this, that is fine. That is validating ourselves of, I can't stand to do this right now. My mental mindset cannot handle this right now. Even if my emotional body says I need to address this right now, because emotionally that's what it's sending me. Sometimes our mental mindset is strained enough that we're on overload. So the first thing we have to address is get to the point where we're not overloaded in order to move forward with what we need to. So we move at our own pace, very much at our own pace. And that is great. And our lovely Page of Wands here says there's plenty of actions we can do. And everything's interconnected. Positive emotions, negative emotions, they all have a push and pull, an interconnectedness on each other. They exist in harmony for a reason. And when they're out of harmony, that is also for a reason. And our emotions and our body and our mind all interact. So there is things that we can take action on. There is new ways for us to move. We have room to move. We have room to navigate. And to do so in a persistent manner, to do so with energy, to see in areas of imbalance where we're out of whack, whether it's in our mental space or, as they're pointing out, our emotional state, our emotional body, and what that is hinting at, we're able to succeed. The Six of Wands. We're able to see progress. We're able to overcome. Ace of Cups, King of Wands. Where we're able to successfully, actually, be emotionally balanced, fulfilled, secure, to be comfortable in ourselves, whether that is having fully healed or be comfortable with where we're at, to be more enthusiastic, energetic, and in control of our emotional state, of our well-being, of our overall health. Yeah, all connected. I'm surprised I actually didn't get an extra card out of the Elemental Empath deck over here. I'm surprised they didn't give you the growth or grounding card, because this is kind of like what your outcome is you being able to ground yourself enough to either be comfortable where you are and function, or to push past things enough to start making forward progress at your own pace, to where you realize your overall well-being increases in a positive manner. So let me go ahead. There's quite a few cards here, and we will clarify each one out of the crystal visions. But I'm going to see what else they bring up, because this new moon in Gemini seems to be a self-care, emotional well-being inventory. And that was a lot. that was a lot. Let me double check. Spirit, did you want all of that for the Knight of Wands? No. Okay, I didn't think so. Did you really give me all that for clarifying each card? Yes. Okay. Okay. That means I have to figure out which order you wanted. This kind of came out in 2 different chunks. I think this goes on top of here. Which means we have, ooh, Empress. 5 of Cups with a 5 of Pentacles. Not surprised there. Page of Wands. Page of Swords. 2 of Cups with the 7 of Wands. The Page of Cups. 5 of Pentacles. The Hanged Man. Oh. And that leaves us one more, the King of Wands, to clarify. There we go. And yes, I will show them to you in a minute. Live shuffling can sometimes be difficult. There we go. Thank you. Oh, yep. The 8 of Swords in the reverse. Oh, I love it. I love it. Okay. So with the Knight of Wands, they gave us the Empress, which is fantastic because we have fertile, energetic, abundant opportunity to transform, to create. As I said, we're moving at our own pace. So we are being very connected to our divine feminine, our Queen of Cups energy right here. We are validating ourselves. We are moving in a pace and in a way that functions with our inner self, our inner world, our intuition, and our emotional body, where we're able to, as I said, validate self. Our inner guidance, as I said on the Feel Emotions card, is how we're moving, where we're, I know that's kind of contradictory because it's the Knight of Wands, but we're moving in a way that we're moving with our emotions instead of against our emotions, moving at our own pace. And that is so fantastic. So don't feel pressure to move at somebody else's pace or in a way that somebody else insists that you move if you are healing or dealing with anything that is triggering you at any point. So let us be clear on that. And then with the 5 of Pentacles, we have the 5 of Cups. Yes. Baggage. Yep. We're dealing and contending with our own baggage and our own emotions and our own feelings and all that that entails at our own pace. No one's going to force you to disagree with the way you feel. And so we're acknowledging how we feel, which is fantastic. But do that on your own timetable. Please do that on your own timetable. Allow yourself that because you need it. And that it's fabulous. And with the Page of Wands, we have the Knight of Swords. Okay, moving at our own pace. Once again, we may be a little bit cautious. So slow moving, yes, moving at our own pace. Totally fine. Taking new actions. We may be uncertain. We may not be totally clear. And yes, that may mean that we do so very slowly. But as I said, moving at our own pace. We're validating self. That is totally fine. And with the 7 of Wands, we have the 2 of Cups. Once you actually commit to something, you're doing so and sticking with that option because you've made the right connections. You've had choices, you've had options, and you've made the connections enough that you're going to persist in your choice. And that's a very, very fun, very fulfilling, supportive, and validating way to move. So I don't know what more else I can say to that. That is fantastic. That is great. Now, if it came out in the reverse, I'd be more concerned. But no, it came out in the upright. So for those of you that have severe trauma or things that you are trying to work through, please remember to give yourself a pat on the back. You may feel like things were never going to change. You may feel that you should have gotten over things sooner. Like for example, if you're dealing with postpartum depression and you're trying to get over that, and you're like, well, my baby's 5. I should have been over my postpartum depression before my, child was 2. Just like I should have lost my baby weight before my child was 2. That type of attitude, that type of time limit restriction is not going to help you. Remember to move at your own pace. So part of validating self is allowing yourself to have some grace along the way. Just, FYI. Okay, and with the 2 of Pentacles in the reverse, we have the Page of Cups. Yes, along the way, you are going to have to... Oh. There we go. There we go. I fixed it. Something was wrong, and I noticed it. Sorry. I slid the cards. Page of Cups. Okay. So we're getting a little bit more creative. We're able to have new emotions, new feelings about areas where things have not served us. Things are totally misaligned. They're all tangled and a bit much for us. So if you ever feel at any point that you're overwhelmed, trying to micromanage things, you're triggered, for example, now we get the opportunity to, newly identify our emotions and why that's there to help guide us, because we're being more sensitive, more heightened on what our emotions are trying to show us. Part of that emotional body energy. On the same note, is if we're triggered or things become overwhelming, we're going to have probably a new emotional response because we're making progress steps in a more positive direction. So instead of, automatically being angry and lashing out at somebody, we're taking a moment to pause and realize that, oh, I'm being triggered. I should probably not say that. I should probably be a little bit more discreet in my verbal response. So you're taking emotion out of it or adding more emotion in, your response is going to change. Which I always love to see, because that means we're functioning on a different level. And with the 6 of Wands, we have the 5 of Pentacles. Yes, we are literally able to succeed, to triumph, to move on from hardship, things being difficult in the past, difficult situations. We're able to proceed and move on in a more positive manner. I mean, I can't make that any more clear than that if I tried. And Ace of Cups, we have the Hangman in reverse. We're no longer having to be put on hold, to have to gain more information. We're learning to connect very much with our emotions with the Ace of Cups. Like I said, being emotionally engaged, being emotionally present, being tapped into that divine feminine and our emotional body in a way that we are able to express and not repress. We're able to function and flow in a way that is fulfilling, positive, and ultimately I want to say connected to our authentic self. I assume they probably want validated self with that, yes. Positivity all around. Your emotions are able to have kind of like a growth spurt, and that's because you're handling yourself differently. Which brings us to our last card that we're clarifying here, the King of Wands. We have the Eight of Swords in the reverse. Literally, you have more control over your emotional state, your response, the actions that you take. So we have more confidence. We're boosting ourselves up. And I kind of want to say that we're going through a little bit of a glow up because we do have the Empress over here. So growth. Collective growth on the card up here. Yes. We're able to navigate. And it's because we freed ourselves. We're untying all the ties to the past that had emotional baggage, trauma, triggering after effects, situations that were totally negative enough that they left a mark. And I'm getting the word self-care. So yeah, maybe you're allowing yourself room to take care of you because you're validating your own needs for a change. Because as we have in the intimacy card, discover and voice needs. That it falls under self-care. Validating yourself, validate self, and voicing your needs to realize that you have your own self-care, your own self-worth, your own self-confidence, and you are deserving of that. You deserve to have it. You need it. So wanting it is totally acceptable. It's fantastic. All right. That was quite a lot. I tried something new. So please let me know in the description box down below if you like this layout, if you like this type of reading. It was worth trying. It was actually really fun. And if anything resonated for you, please hit the big thumbs up. Feel free to like, share, and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching, and I will catch you guys later. Bye.